They say the left hand, it drop mountains. They say the right hand, be slaying dragons.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. So one of my favorite movies, for those of you that know, for those of you that don't know, but one of my favorite movies is A Bronx Tale. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a classic. But there's a line in that movie, and the line goes as follows, and I quote, "The saddest thing in life is wasted talent," right? And pivoting into this Jaron Ennis Xander Zayas fight, and this is specifically about Jaron Ennis. We all know he's talented. We all know he's athletic. We all know he's got a great blend of speed, athleticism, punching power, physicality, all that stuff. Dexterity, can box orthodox, box southpaw, all that great stuff, right? But it's been a lot of flash. Damn near all flash. Very little substance, in my opinion, right? But it's great. It's great that we have such a ambitious, willing, and ready champion in Xander Zayas that will even go against the best wishes of some of the top-ranked matchmakers. All right? Because I know, guys. I've been in discussions with some of the people from Top Rank, and they've been telling me, man, like, hey, one of them says we love the fight. The other one says, hey, we could have just fought Xander against, Giovanni Santillon or some German guy in Puerto Rico and sold 15,000 tickets. Right? But that's not who Xander Zayas is. Xander Zayas is ambitious. Xander Zayas wants to be great. Xander Zayas wants to really, show the world what he's really about and etch his name in the history books as one of the greatest fighters, and not just in the history of Puerto Rico, but of his era, right? And you can only do those things. You only become legendary like Muhammad Ali and Salvador Sanchez and all these great fighters that we love and revere if you fight someone and you beat someone that people think you can't beat, right? So we talk about Jaron Ennis, a guy who's 35-0, 31 knockouts. He's built up this big reputation. He is very, very talented. I don't refute that. But there's some things. There's some gaping flaws. He better tighten up for this fight. And let this be a warning. I'm being very honest here. If the Jaron Ennis fans get mad at me, I don't give a fuck. I'm just telling y'all the truth. There's some things he needs to tighten up here. Otherwise, he's gonna lose on points. All right, he's gonna lose clearly on points if he don't tighten these things up. And I know Boots don't think that, which is fine. You gotta be confident. But Boots better take this very seriously because he's fighting. He's not fighting. This isn't Neanderthal Amantis Stanianis, Stanianis marching forward. Stanianis wants to fight. Stanianis punch. Stanianis doesn't move head. Like it ain't that. This ain't the Angolan Usima Lima. This ain't that. This ain't them guys been fighting. Them like these fighters that are strong fighters, like your David Avanesians, your Roman Villas, your Amantis Stanianis, Limas. These guys are strong fighters, the rugged fighters. But they're Neanderthals. Boxing IQ-wise, they are Neanderthals. They don't have the smarts to fight on that top level. And when you fight Jaron Ennis, your skills and your smarts better be on that top level, right? Xander Zayas does have the skill. That's why he's unified champion, right? So when I look at Jaron Ennis, he needs to tighten things up defensively. I know that he's got great reflexes. I know that a lot of times the hand speed of these fighters that he's fighting doesn't really trouble him, so he could really be right there in the pocket and he could just roll the shots. Even a lot of the shots that some of these guys land, Boots will roll the shots. Boots will, they might land and graze him, but he's rolling the shots. So the punches land, but he's taking the steam off of them. But he's still getting hit. Like you watch the Karen fight, you watch, even pockets of the Stanianis fight. Because Boots has this apex predator destroyer mindset, he's putting himself in the line of fire when he don't gotta be, right? So what I'm looking to see from Boots here is some IQ, some growth, some maturation. Because I don't think Jaron Ennis has really had to show much maturation in his career. He's had guys that he's supposed to beat, guys that come right to him, guys that bring the fight right to him, that allow him to pivot, switch, counter, do whatever he wants. And that's not going to be the case here with Xander Zayas. They both, and by the way, in terms of height, they're the same. Xander Zayas is 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. Jaron Ennis is 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. And Xander can actually knows how to use that long rangey frame of his to box. So Jaron Ennis, I think he has to definitely keep this fight in the pocket. Keep this fight in the pocket. Don't allow Xander to use his legs. Go to the body. Put some water in the basement, as they say. place those shots to the body from the orthodox and southpaw stance, and make Xander have to fight you. Because if this, I'll tell you right now, if this turns into a boxing match, I know Boots has a really good jab. He has a very good jab. I give him his credit. He does have a good jab, but Jaron Ennis is not a boxer. He's not a boxer. He has a good jab, but he is not a boxer. He's someone that likes to get on his front foot, and he likes to, bring the fight to you. And if you bring the fight to him, he has the athleticism and speed to counterpunch you. But he himself is not a guy that routinely leads the exchanges or anything like that. He's a guy that, crosses his feet a lot. He don't pick his hands up. And like I said, and I've said this many times about Xander, I'll say it again if you never heard me say this. Xander Zayas, I don't think he's a 9 or a 10 in any category, in the boxing ring as far as skill set. But I think he's an 8. He's a 7.5. He's very well rounded. So what you get from Xander Zayas throughout the fight is consistency. He's gonna box. He's gonna move. You make a mistake, you fall over on your front foot. He's gonna counter you. He's gonna take what the defense gives him. And so while it may not be the most flashy, while he may not jump off the screen highlights wise like Jaron Ennis, his consistency could be a difference in this fight if Jaron Ennis has any hard times cutting off the ring, if he feels uncomfortable leading the exchanges, if he feels uncomfortable throwing straight punches, which he does sometimes, those kind of things, because Jaron Ennis is a creative fighter. If you listen to Jaron Ennis when he talks, and I don't think a lot of you guys really listen to him when he talks, I do. Whenever Jaron Ennis has great performances, he always talks about having fun. When he has underwhelming performances, like the one against Karen, both performances against Karen, he says that, well, he didn't perform well because he didn't have fun. And what that tells me about Boots is that he needs to be in control. And when he's not in control, he gets frustrated and he doesn't have as many answers as you guys think. And he's very versatile. And I'm gonna say this 2 times so you guys understand me. Jaron Ennis is versatile, but he's not complete. Those are 2 different things. You could be versatile in skill set, but it doesn't mean you're a complete fighter. Because a complete fighter can initiate the exchange, end the exchange, counterpunch, switch, all that stuff. He can do most of those things, but he can't do all of them. So he's not a complete fighter. Naoya Inoue is a complete fighter. Alexander Usyk is a complete fighter. Terrence Crawford was a complete fighter. That's why they were at the top of boxing for so long. Dimitri Bivol is a complete fighter. Shakur Stevenson's a complete fighter, right? These guys can fight, and they have answers to damn near all the questions. I've seen Jaron Ennis enough to know that he does not have the answers to all the questions. And the reason why this fight was taken by Xander is not because his contract is up. Everybody keeps saying, oh, how could Xander fight Boots? His contract with Top Rank must be up. Nah, it ain't because his contract is up. It's because he's been built the right way. He fought the right fights at the right time. He got the right experience at the right time. So even though Xander Zayas might be 22, 23 years old, his experience level and his maturity, it supersedes. It's above 22 or 23 years old. And like I said, Boots is used to being comfortable in there. As far as venue where he fights, as far as opponent styles. Only time he was semi-uncomfortable was against Karen, right? And the only reason Karen couldn't really beat Boots is because Karen don't throw enough volume and don't have enough firepower. But see, now you're fighting a guy who is younger than Karen, more athletic than Karen, better than Karen, has a higher pedigree than Karen, and he's about the same size as you. So can Jaron Ennis beat someone who's younger than him, and just around the same size as him? That's the question here, because it's easy to put Sergey Lipinets on a highlight reel when Sergey Lipinets is like a 140 pounder, and you look like you should be at about 168 because you got Boots is huge. If none of y'all have ever seen Jaron Ennis in person, he's big. He carries the weight very, very well. I don't know how he made 147, but all I'm saying is this is my warning, all right, to the Jaron Ennis fan base and just anybody out there that thinks that Xander Zayas is just some cakewalk and some pushover. Jaron Ennis better work on cutting off the ring. He better stop loading up so damn much on his shots because he will get tired. He'll start missing. He'll get tired. And he better work consistently behind his jab. If he fights Xander the way he's been fighting Lima and Stanionis and Karen, just marching forward, loading up on everything, he gonna tire himself out and he's going to fade in the back half of the fight and he will lose on points. I'm telling you that right now. So it's a great fight. I'm really happy for Jaron Ennis to finally be in a big fight of this magnitude. A fight that the whole world is going to be watching in boxing. And I'm looking for special things from Jaron Ennis because, you know, before any of you guys get in my comment section and say that, oh, BT, you're this big hater of Boots, which I'm not. I just tell you guys the truth. I was the one back in 2021. I got a live here on this channel. I could pull it up for you if you want. I said that Jaron Ennis was boxing's perfect storm because he's very, you can tell he's very hardworking. He comes from a great family. They definitely take this boxing thing very, very serious. You know, he lives the life of a fighter. And I feel like, you know, he should be further ahead in his career. And the reason, and that's where a lot of the frustration comes from. So now that he's on this big stage, make it count. Like, make it count, man. Make it count. Be the fighter that a lot of us think you are, and a lot of us thought you were, you know, in the early stages of your career. You know, that's what I want to see. So I'm just giving you guys the large picture. I'm giving you guys what the things to look out for with Boots, with Xander as well. And the way I see it, you know, for Jaron Ennis, he's 28 years old, but I look at this as the beginning of his career. Because really, he fought some decent fighters, but nobody to this degree. So very great fight. Looking forward to it. Give me your thoughts down below.
Thank you for watching True School Sports.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire, the home of boxing. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, guys. So help us keep being great. Help us keep pushing out that real boxing content for the fine folks all around the world. And make sure you jab, you hook, you Mike Tyson, you Mayweather that subscribe button. Pops, show them how do they gotta hit the subscribe button. Pop, pop.